And then on the other side of that, once we, tighten in, we get out of the village, we ended up expanding and stuff like that. But on the other side of that village, there was we called it tent city.
Mhm.
People who didn't have homes. It was just a bunch of tents, kids, women, children, well, women, children, even men, adult men,
Right.
and elders. They lived in tents. And what we do is we drive by, and our gunners would just throw some water. One day we threw a case of water out. A little kid grabbed it, and an older gentleman comes up, shoves the kid into the ground, and
You're
picks
like,
up the water and runs. And we're like,
hey,
we can't do anything about it.
right.
We're not getting out. That's a safety thing for us. We
Yeah.
don't open our doors.
And they know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they know that. But a lot of times the kids won't really think, and they'll run damn near get underneath our vehicles.
Right.
And if that's the case, we stop and we blow our horn. Like we're not, number one, we're not getting out of our
Well, they're
vehicle.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kids. They don't know. But
Yeah.
we were very cautious about that. Going through there, we slowed our speed down because we know those kids would start running around.
Right.
Um, and then once we got through there, we'd expand the formation because we could see more. It's not a tight environment, nothing like that. We'd push the formation out as long as you're no more that I want to say we did no more than 100 meters.
Okay.
Then you're fine.
It's still pretty far.
Yeah, it's far.
Yeah.
Because there's 100 meters in between, but when we get into a village, just think of it as like a slinky.
Right.
You get into a village, tight down. When you get further out and you have a lot of wiggle room, expand it out. That's pretty much how it was. And then other than that, we just ran a lot of missions. I think in those, it doesn't sound like a lot, but in the 4 months that I was there, and then we ended up switching with another platoon. In those 4 months I was there, we ran, I want to say 68 combat missions.
Wow.
Which some people think that's not a lot. That's a mission every other day almost.
One sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah. So we ran a lot of missions.
Yeah.
And then I want to say we bipped close to 80 explosives.
Wow.
Yeah, there'd be missions where we didn't blow anything up.
Yeah,
but then there was one mission where we blew up like 6 things on one mission.
Oof.
And within like a 2-hour time span.
Right. That's a lot.
And then we ended up going back to Kuwait after the whole Syria thing was done. And then just kind of hanging out in Kuwait.
Yeah.
We had another platoon in Syria, and then we had other people in like Iraq, other parts of Syria, KLZ, NLZ.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were in Kuwait. We were just kind of, doing some training or just working out all the time.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all, or playing video games. Those are, it was either training, video games, eating, working out. That was it. We didn't really have any details.
Occasionally risking yourself get blown up. Like,
well, in Kuwait,
whatever.
Yeah. No, cool. That's the thing. Like, Kuwait's not a combat zone anymore.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's literally, I tell people all the time, like, if you can go to Kuwait, just go. Like, if you go to Arif John or something, don't complain about it, because everyone complain when you're there, because you're like,
I'm so far
awesome. Like, I see me, I didn't care about being away from home.
Right.
I think of it as I have Wi-Fi. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll FaceTime them or shoot them a text or call them.
Gotcha.
But in Kuwait, they got Pizza Hut, Starbucks, Subway, like all that stuff. And it's like, okay, it's kind of like a vacation.
Yeah,
right now.
it could be.
Just a lot of sand, and it's hot.
Hopefully they don't hear this and they.
Oh no, they know it.
Sure.
Yeah, they know it. And
what's that like, man? What is that first moment where you're like, you're landing over there and you're just like, oh shit, I'm doing this. Like, what is that like? What is going through your head?
So it's like, okay, I'm here. This is legit.
It's real.
Yeah.
All this shit I've been doing. Uh-oh.
All this training, like this is legit. This is happening.
Yeah.
And you kind of flick that switch. You're like, okay. In Kuwait, you can kind of take a little breather and not really have to worry too much, because the security on the outside is just nuts. Like, there's so much stuff out there.
Been there a while.
And they have to get through a lot to get even into the middle. There's so much they have to go through.
Gotcha.
But when we got to Syria, I was like, all right, this is legit.
Yeah, it's just me in this truck door.
Yep. People on the outside of this, possibly want to kill me.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, flick that switch. The kid goes away, and it's, it's rough. And the thing that really clicked for me is day one we got there, we were going to turn our stuff in. We had to stay in like an L-shaped school, front door right at the 90-degree angle. And the only way we could get in at the time was to go through the back. So we ended up going through the back. The moment we climbed the stairs up to the second floor, we look over. There was a wall of Hesco barriers, which are just big old
Mhm.
sandbag walls. We see the SDF, Syrian Democratic Forces. We see them sitting there with a ton of like probably 300 AKs, probably 100 RPGs,
Like,
and we're just like, what is
the
going on? They
hell?
had mortar rounds,